Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Josh. I just wanted to give an introduction to myself for once, since I've already posted a few videos. And in that time, I just never really decided early on to, maybe share myself and who I am and what I do. So I'm Josh. I go by Josh Baum Knitwear. You can also find me on Instagram under the same, actually it's just Josh Baum at Instagram. But I have been knitting now for about maybe 14 to 15 years, since I was in like 8th grade, maybe, or 7th grade or so. Actually, I had started out with crochet and had been doing that for a few years before I decided to knit. And then once I started knitting, that kind of took off, and I did that for a really long time before I decided to pick up crochet again. So in my channel, you will see a lot of both. I think so far you've seen mostly knitting. I think there maybe was a crochet video so far. But yeah, I enjoy fiber arts. I enjoy using local indie dyers. I enjoy supporting my local yarn shops in town. There's two that I go to here in San Antonio. One of them is called Unraveled. It's over in the Alamo Heights area of San Antonio. And then the other one that I go to is called Yarnivore, and that is kind of closer to nearby where I work. And as you can see behind me, there's just grand pianos everywhere. I actually work for a piano shop here in town in San Antonio, and I love it. I love my job. I love the opportunities it's given me, even throughout coronavirus and how everything has been going on right now. It's been nice, and I've been fortunate enough to still maintain my job and work here. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me. Let's talk about some of my works in progress, my whips. One of the first things that I want to show y'all is, let's actually finish this so I can show you, or I'll just do this. This is the bubble sweater by Stephen West. It's not done, obviously. I'm using two different indie dyers in this. The main color, which is the gray with the speckling. This is called Muggle Dk by Euphoria Knits. She is an indie dyer here in San Antonio. I really recommend her if you're looking for just amazing indie dyed yarn. She's a great person. I know her personally too. And she takes custom orders. She does anything. She's really flexible and will work for you. Like, she will make sure that you get exactly what you want. So I really like her. Now the blue part of the yoke up here on the top is by Yarn Carnival, which is out of Georgetown, I believe, or Austin. I'm not too sure exactly where she's at. Which is nearby. If you're not familiar with, I guess, the landscape of Texas, I live in San Antonio. Austin, which is the other major city that's nearby. There's other major cities, obviously, but the closest major city to San Antonio is Austin. And that's about, give or take, an hour and a half away, and then Georgetown is part of Austin. So, but this colorway is called Goodnight Sweet Prince, and is this really beautiful blue, like almost navy colorway. So anyway, I'm finishing up one of the sleeves right now. Obviously, I'll get to the other sleeve here soon. And then I always like to actually get a lot of the arms done before I finish up the bottom, just in case I need to like fudge it a little bit and just make it shorter in case I need to sell it, maybe even then at that point, because it's not gonna fit me. So I get the arms done first, and then if I need to go and find the yarn for more to make the rest of the body, then I'll do that. I don't know why, that makes sense to me. I mean, regardless, you either have the yarn or not, right? That's just a weird thing of mine that I do. As I had mentioned earlier, I do crochet as well sometimes. I didn't bring any crochet with me to show you. I left that at home, but I can make a video about that later. But I will say I recently got a crochet case that I thought was really nice off of Amazon.com. This is the Pro Case. This is just one of those generic, like, made in China, whatever cases. Nothing against China, but, you know, I'm just saying it's a generic case that you get off of Amazon. So, really nice. I have all my crochet hooks in here. Oh, and what I actually like the back part for, because it's 2 pockets, or 2 zips, Notion. So I have my cable needle, repair hooks, scissors in here, stitch markers, and sometimes I have darning needles in there as well. I have pens and a chapstick just in case. But yeah, I really like this. I just got it like a week ago or 2. It is what it is. It's not anything too crazy, but I like that it's really portable and I can throw it into my bag. So, okay. The next thing I want to show you is this is what I've been working on. This is one of my bags. I always have a tote bag around with just work. I mean, if you go into my apartment, there's probably, if you pick up any tote bag, there's probably already something in there. I've been working on the Typhoon Shawl by Josh Reich-Zerbinski. I love it. I think it's really fun. It's super easy and it knits up so fast, despite it being super big too. So I've chosen, you can't really see it too well because it's like a half circle kind of, and so like you're knitting out from the middle kind of, or like from the top edge, so like it puckers up a little bit, but that's what it looks like essentially so far. And when I get done, I'll obviously show you that too. Really love this. Now, I really want to be able to tell you the name of the red, and I cannot for the life of me remember. I'll put it in the comments below. But the self-striping is by a local dyer as well, Crafting My Chaos, and this is her micro striping Autumn Party. It's called Autumn Party. She does a lot of micro striping yarns, and this pattern really just calls for a self-striping yarn and a solid yarn. Just 1 skein of each pretty much. And yeah, the techniques in there are pretty easy. If you are familiar with doing eyelets and doing short rows, then you should be fine. That's all this is short rows and eyelets. And then at the end, there's like a picot edge, but I mean, you can either choose to or not do that. But yeah, I've actually had this on my needles for a little bit now, so I'm really pushing to get things off. It gets to, I mean, a lot of knitters can relate, you know, you get to a point where you're like, okay, like I need to finish some projects because I don't have any more knitting needles. And despite me having a lot of knitting needles, it is true, like I should finish a lot of the projects that I have working. I'm just one of those knitters that always has something on needles, and whenever they finish, but I am now starting to push to finish things. Speaking of, this, what I'm about to show you, is another work in progress called the Daylight Shawl, and I'm gonna stand up to show you this one. I'm almost done with this. I'm just finishing up the last section. This one has been on my needles for a long time, but I am finishing it up finally. I like this stitch work in this. Some moss stitch, some of this slip stitch work, and then this kind of slip stitch work, which I think is really nice. I've been working on this one for a while again, and this one really only requires, I think, like in the picture on, it looks nothing like this, by the way. In the picture, it's like white and blue, but in the picture, it looks like they only use 2 different colors. With this, I had at the time just these 4 different colors that I really liked and thought would work really well together, so I put them together. So let's go over the yarns used. So this, and this is all merino. and maybe, this is all sock yarn, so like merino, nylon. For all intents and purposes, it is all merino and nylon at different percentages, but I can't think of what those are off the top of my head. So first one is my favorite color actually, Undine by, this is by Yarn Carnival. Love it. And if you know the story of Undine, then this kind of makes sense, because it looks like Undine is like, I believe she's a like a water sprite or like a mermaid or something, and this looks like water. And I've always, okay, so this shawl has, the colors that I picked, I kind of drew inspiration from earth tones and just earth in general. I think it looks like earth. So this is like the water section. The brown is a colorway called Warm Earth by Crafting My Chaos. It's one of her tonals. I love it. I think it's great. It really looks nice as a contrasting color in this whole piece. It works with all the colors. This one is probably the craziest one in here. I really like this one. This one's called Don't Follow the Light, and this one is by Euphoria Knits. I just love all of like the different colors that go through this, and like the black and just the disruptive red colors that are also in there. I think that looks really nice. And then to top it off, this is also a really beautiful color. I think this color at the top would look really nice done up as a sweater, and something like this kind of seed stitch pattern. I really like it. This one is Blue Sage. This one is also by Crafting My Chaos. A lot of the yarn shops around here feature kind of the same, not kind of the same, like some of the yarn shops have the same indie dyers, not necessarily the same colorways, but there are a lot of the same, you know, in different stores. But one store in particular just carries a lot of like tonals from one indie dyer, and it's easy to find like a sweater project, or if you're just looking for solid colors that are, you know, or tonal, you know, ish colors that are easy to work with. I always recommend Crafting My Chaos for tonals, by the way. She's just so great. But really, all the indie dyers that I use can make really great tonals, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I've been working on this for a little bit, almost done. Should look pretty nice once it's done. And then I'll drape it onto one of the pianos, probably. So, that's all I really have for you today. And I hope that this counts as an okay introduction to my channel and to me. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at JoshBaum. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below if that's okay. And if you ever have any questions, or if I talked about something and left something out, I'd be more than happy to chat with you and just, you know, talk about it. Yeah. So have a nice day, and see you next time. Bye.